Good morning and welcome to our Thursday edition of C-SPAN's Washington Journal. Just following President Obama's live coverage of his speech at Cairo University to the Muslim world, we'd like to open up our phone lines and get your reaction to the president's messages this morning and hear what you think. Republicans 202-737-0001, Democrats 202-737-0002, and Independents 202-628-0205. You can see from the front pages of some local newspaper, the Washington Times, and also the New York Times, about the competing interests, all hoping to capture the hearts and minds of people on the issues the president spoke about. The Washington Times pointing out that Obama and bin Laden vie for notice. A new videotape released from the bin Laden and al-Qaeda about the threats from the United States as the president makes his speech today. New York Times has a similar lead story this morning. Rival messages as Obama lands in the Mideast. Bin Laden reviles U.S. and Israeli site shift on settlements. That's Jeff Zeleny and Helene Cooper. We'd like to hear what you think and get your reaction to the messages. The president had a bullet pointed with 7 key areas. We'll show that to you in just a minute, but let's first hear some reactions. Venice, Florida. John is on the line, a Democrat. Go ahead, please.
Yes, my name is John Wett. I've seen Barack Obama twice in person, member of the Venice Area Democratic Club. I thought his speech was excellent. The Israel and the PLO will have to have a state of their own. I'm Catholic. I'm a member of the Venice Epiphany Cathedral, which is the third busiest cathedral in the United States. Bishop Nevins is very close to Israel, and Barack Obama is a person that will bring people together.
Thank you, John. Ellen, Republican in Greensburg, Pennsylvania. Your reaction?
I'm ready.
You're on.
Thank you. Oh, you know what? Thank God he was on. I'm so happy to hear him. I am not a Democrat, and I didn't vote for him, but God gave him the right words to say.
What particularly struck you as being the right tone or the right words?
He was trying to make peace with everybody. I know it's impossible, but he at least put his foot forward, and he put America right in the middle of peace, and that's what we do stand for.
Ellen in Pennsylvania. Next is a call from Tucson, Arizona. This is Ray, Independent Line. Ray, what were your thoughts on the president's speech?
I thought he walked a fine line, and he walked it very well. I was very pleased to see him criticize parties, countries equally, but also praise countries and religions equally. I think he gave a very balanced speech, and I was very pleased with the response that the audience gave him. I think that our president did a very, very good thing today.
Among those in the hall at Cairo University were 500 correspondents from all across the globe. The announcements from officials said that they decided to make it available to so many journalists in the room because the feeling of being in the speech is very different than watching it on television. Next telephone call is from West Hollywood. This is Cinnamon on our Democrats line. You're on the air, Cinnamon.
Hi. I don't think I have ever been so proud of being an American, and I certainly have never been so proud of a president of our country as I was watching that speech.
And why is that?
Well, the thing is that he hit both sides. He stood up for the good things that are in our country, but he didn't deny the bad things in the country. He supported the people in the Middle East in terms of them having goals for living their lives the way they wanted. But he also pointed out a lot of the dumb things they do as well. And I was specifically thrilled that he addressed women's rights. Because that for me, that's a particular button for me. You know, and the fact that if you know, the women choose to wear the hijab, that's fine and dandy. But when he said it should be their choice to do it.
Now, you choose to get up very early in California to watch this. Why did you do that?
Because I thought it was important to me as a citizen. I have, to tell you the truth, I have never been interested in politics the way I have been since Obama came to the presidency. I mean, I've always been interested in politics, but I've never particularly felt that my life had anything to do with politics. You know, because I've never felt that anyone was frankly concerned about the average person in this country. And I mean, first of all, I love how brilliant he is. You know, it's nice to have a president who's intelligent, who's an intellectual, who was a professor, you know, in one of our greatest universities. You know, it was really embarrassing to have someone as stupid as George Bush as president of supposedly the greatest country on earth. You know, and Obama is willing to see both sides of a question.
All right, thank you.
I don't always agree with him, but I like his style.
All right, at that point, we'll say thanks for calling in and move on to our next caller who's watching the speech from Flemington, New Jersey. This is Alan on the Republican line. And Alan, what was your reaction?
He is a great orator. He is very gifted, and the content of his speech was commendable. I did notice he seemed to have some certain applause lines that were not responded to by the audience, and that's of concern to me. I hear frequently the appeal to the Arab street, and I don't know whether that appeal was actually positive by waiting for those applause lines. I may be mistaken, but he gets more applause at Democratic conventions or gatherings than he did at this speech.
Well, let's find out what some of the local reaction is. Howard Schneider is on the line with us, foreign correspondent for the